ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to Tiger News Network, episode number 4. I am Dylan Shear. This week we are joined with Dalton Jackson, Preston Jackson, and guest Mr. Holsinger. Let's hop right into some Glenwood news. This is a reminder that school pictures are on October 10th, and your senior pictures for the senior slideshow are also due on March 15th. In addition to that, the Quiz Bowl team has 2 matches at the Old Glenwood High School. Both of those occur on October 6th. Also, congratulations to our 2023 basketball homecoming court. Freshman attendant Cameron Crace, sophomore attendant Raquel Freeman, junior attendant Macy Seibert, and senior attendant Maddie Pace and Queen Cadence Williams. And also, don't forget that the Young Ambassadors Club is going to be selling ice cream at lunch every first and third Friday of the month. The cost will be no more than $2. Let's hop right into some Oak and Stanton news. The first to third grade field trip to Noble Farms will be on October 6th, and flu shots will be on October 13th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
This is another reminder that for the fall and winter sports seasons, New Boston students grades K through 12 will be admitted free into all home sporting events. There will be a sign-in sheet at the admittance table that students will have to sign before entering the game. Thank you to the New Boston local school district for making this available for our students. The junior high volleyball team plays Green at home at 5:30 on Monday. On Tuesday, they play at Rock Hill at 5:30. The high school volleyball team plays at home versus Eastern on Monday. On Wednesday, they play at Coalgrove, and on Thursday, they play at home versus Notre Dame. All games start at 5:30. The soccer team plays on Monday at Rock Hill and Tuesday at home versus St. Joe. Both games start at 6. The Ohio State Buckeyes play the Rutgers in the Shoe on Saturday. Kickoff at 3:30 p.m.
Here's some upcoming events around our area. On October 1st, our Cradle Walk for Life begins at 9 a.m. at the Cradle Care Center on Gallia Street in Portsmouth. On October 1st and 2nd, the John Simon Sorghum Festival will take place from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Pond Creek on the west side. New Boston's Party at the Park will be Saturday, October 8th, all day, with townfolk playing. Our own Miss Johnson's daughter is the lead singer, and Miss Lily's son plays the drums for his band. Everyone come out to enjoy some good food and entertainment. The night will end with fireworks.
Thanks, Dalton. In some world news, a hurricane nicknamed Hurricane Fiona recently hit Canada and left 746,000 people without power in Puerto Rico. The hurricane is currently at a Category 2, but is said to get much, much worse. It is expected to turn into something we have never seen before. Dalton, take it away.
Speaking of more hurricanes, the hurricane nicknamed Hurricane Ian was strengthened to a Category 1 hurricane. However, some sources report that the hurricane could escalate to a Category 3 or 4 hurricane in the very near future. The hurricane is reportedly very close to the country of Cuba and is inching closer to the state of Florida, where the state recently declared a state of emergency.
Thanks. Let's talk about this week in history. This week in history, Frank Robinson was hired by the Cleveland Indians as baseball's first ever African-American Major League Baseball manager. Let's talk about some college information, Dalton.
In a move that is expected to attract more students from Ohio and Kentucky, Marshall University, the university's Board of Governors today approved the expansion of Metro tuition rate eligibility to a 100-mile radius from the Huntington campus. Currently, the Metro rate applies to border counties including Lawrence, Pike, and Scioto counties of Ohio and countless counties in Kentucky. Now we're going to cut to an interview from Mr. Dylan Shear and our teacher, Mr. Holsinger, who is a former student of Marshall University.
Let's go! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dylan Shear, and we are joined with Mr. Holsinger. He is a teacher here at Glenwood High School, and he is also a Marshall alumni. And so we're just going to ask a few questions here about Marshall. So what made you decide to want to go with Marshall University?
I visited a lot of schools. I visited Ashland University. I visited Otterbein. Right when I got on campus at Marshall, I kind of was like, this is where I belong. Very welcoming. The community itself is just like home, but you're kind of far away enough that you're on your own. But if you ever need to come home really quick for something, you're only 45 minutes away. That was a big selling point for me. And I've always had an interest. I used to go to their camps when I played football and stuff, and I enjoyed their campus, and that's pretty much just closeness. And it was like being home, but not being home. That makes sense.
Yeah. And how would you say your personal experience was going there?
It was very good. I've made some very close friends I'm still in touch with today. You know, I was very into going to sports. I went to every basketball game, softball, football, of course. it is a family there, and I see a lot of what happens here at New Boston there too, and that's why I'm enjoying teaching here. I do see a lot of closeness. Don't get me wrong, there's problems there that I had to deal with, but that's every college, and I do believe they handled everything very well. I really loved just, again, the community. You had Pullman Square, you can go down there and hang out, and the campus itself, it's small, but it's big enough that you feel like you're on a college campus. It's not like not too small.
Okay. And then is there any advice or tips that you would give to people that are interested in going to Marshall or attending Marshall?
Go visit, come talk to me. Also, this is for anyone who decides to go to college, and I've said this to a lot of students. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about how, you don't have to get the best test scores. It's just how hard you work. I'm not a genius, but I did pretty good at Marshall because I worked my butt off, and I was never afraid to talk to people and ask for help. That's the whole point of teachers. That's the whole point of professors, is to actually go out and help you. That's our job. So, you have to go out and actually look for help, especially when you need it. And that's something a lot of kids, especially high school kids, don't really understand at this point. But once you get to college, that's when you have to be okay with asking for help. Just overall, just keep your grades up. Don't do anything you shouldn't. And I'll tell you right now, Marshall has a very good acceptance program. Even if your grades aren't the best, they have classes you would take to enter Marshall. As a freshman, I actually taught some of the classes. So they have a very good acceptance program. Even if your grades aren't the best, you could still, if you're willing to work, they will accept you. So that's just work. That's all I got to say, really, is to get into Marshall is that.
Okay. Well, Mr. Holsinger, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Now for some weather. There's a chance of rain on Saturday, October 1st, and Sunday, October 2nd. Throughout the week, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 71 degrees and a low of around 45 to 50 degrees all week.
In today's politics, on Sunday, President Joe Biden awarded the National Humanities Medal to 80s icon and musician Elton John. John was awarded the medal for his efforts to end a sexually transmitted disease known as AIDS. John also performed on the White House lawn and reportedly said, "This is probably the icing on the cake."
Thanks, Dalton. For any Rihanna fans out there, she's heading to the Super Bowl 57 and is performing at the 2023 halftime show at State Farm Stadium right outside of Phoenix, Arizona on February 12th. The 34-year-old billionaire, who has 9 Grammy Awards to her name, shared an image to Instagram on Sunday afternoon of her holding an official NFL football. Prior to the NFL's confirmation, Taylor Swift was rumored to be standing at the 50-yard line as the main act at the halftime show.
A Canadian family recently found out that 3 of their kids, Mia, Colin, and Laurent, were diagnosed with a rare disorder that causes blindness. So this Canadian couple, Edith and Sebastian, is taking them on a year-long globe-hopping journey to see the world. They plan to fill their heads with experiences around the world. What an amazing idea for these children to be able to collect these memories.
Dalton, that's a great story. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go, we do have a brain teaser for you guys as usual. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Give the correct answer to Miss Claxton before our next broadcast of TNN with the correct answer to earn a Tiger card. Thank you all for tuning in to TNN this week. Be sure to tune in next week for news around our school. And ladies and gentlemen, don't just have a good weekend. Have a great weekend. Stay classy, Tigers.